The Stephen Decatur High School basketball team showing off their skills on the court. But let's go back 50 years and reminisce about the team back then. Jimmy, you and I were not a part of it.
No, but 50 years, we know someone who was. And we would like to introduce to you Mr. Al Handy. Everybody calls him Hondo from Berlin. Mr. Handy, thank you so much for joining us
Thank you
this
very
afternoon.
much for having me here.
So, a season to remember. Tell us about the Stephen Decatur 1970 basketball team.
Well, it was a great time for all of us growing up. Many of us had just entered Stephen Decatur High School, coming from Flower Street Elementary School. And when we got an opportunity to play, because at first, back then, Stephen Decatur was 6th, 7th grade to 12th grade, which is not nowadays.
Right, right.
And so we became managers. My good friend of mine, Oliver Purnell and Ron Dixon, we all were managers for 2 years until we were eligible to go out for the teams. We made the team, and Coach Ward Lambert had put together a really good team for the year before. And when we went to get into that state championship year, he did something really imaginative. He took a bulletin board, and as we won a game, he would post it in the hallway as you entered the school. So if we won one game, it was 1-0 and 20 to go. 2-0 and 19 to go. So if we reached all of those numbers, we were at least in the state championship game. So that was kind of motivation. Every year we came in and every day and looked at that bulletin board. We already knew we won the game night before, but we just looked at that bulletin board, and that was a lot of motivation. I got a chance to reach the state finals, and I think we beat Harvard Grace, and then went on to beat Frederick High School 64-63.
And you became state champions.
And we became state champions.
So tell me about that moment when you realized you won and were state champions.
Well, I remember everyone jumping up, excited, but I was so, and I have a newspaper clipping because I really didn't remember it, but it said and showed that I was just still sitting on the bench, really exhausted. Everybody else was cheering, and I just had one hand up saying, yeah.
You were tired.
I didn't even get up. But I did celebrate once we got in the locker room.
Yeah.
That was the time then. So now the school and the coaches are wanting to honor that team.
Yes, Coach B.J. Johnson, I think he came up with the idea and talked it over with his principals at the school sites, and Superintendent Lou Taylor and Vice Principal Bunning and Athletic Director Don Howard. And they thought maybe it was a time to honor our team. Mm-hmm. And I think it's a good time to let some of the youth and many of the now adults 50 years ago know a little bit about the history of our school and how our team not only was a championship team, but it was a team in a time that it brought the community together, meaning it brought people from Berlin, Ocean City, blacks and white together. That was a time where 3 years ago it was segregated.
Yeah, so that was a huge thing.
Our team kind of brought our whole community together. So we weren't really playing just for our school. Right. And for us, we were playing for our whole community, whereas whites and blacks started sitting together, talking together, coming to the games together.
Yeah.
That hadn't
That
happened
is so
before.
awesome. Now, do you keep in touch with the other players?
I do. I keep in touch with but all of them except we do have 3 of them that have passed on. Mm-hmm. But that night, that celebration on January 31st, we had family representatives for them that would be there.
This is a tremendous opportunity for the community in general to meet some historic figures.
Well, it is. They've been hearing about it because we are the only state championship team in the school's history. They've been hearing about it and trying to reach that goal, but let's have it now. It's an opportunity for them to see who the people were that did reach there, who the players were. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go over the details of this celebration. It's happening Friday, January 31st?
January 31st, halftime of the varsity game, which is at 5:30 between Pocomoke and Stephen Decatur. So get there early because it is a
You're gonna need it.
county rivalry game, along with this the opportunity to be honored.
So you'll want to get there for the JV game at 4 p.m. and of course at Stephen Decatur High School.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you
for
so much.
coming
It's been a
in.
pleasure and an honor.
Thank you.
Goodness gracious.